So the first thing you need to do is you need to head over to eDoctrina after you've scored the assessments and everything like that, and go to reports. Once we're in reports, we select everything that we need to select. So you can select all of your students in this scenario. We come down here to class summary. I'll make sure obviously you have your assessment selected. Come here to class summary, click on that, and you want to click on CSV export only. We hit run report. That's going to generate the report here, and it's going to give us this little document here. It's going to basically be an Excel document to open up. And so we're going to click on that, and we'll see we have all the kids' names, everything right here, and we have their score and percentage. So that's the first step you need to take in this process. So the next step in this process is actually using the spreadsheet I have right here. I'll make a copy available for everybody, and it has a lot of the same headings that we got from our eDoctrina report. So students' first and last name, the scores, percentages, all that good stuff. All we can do is just simply copy and paste all the information from that report we got. The couple of new columns we have, column A is a student email column, and what it's going to do is actually pull the information that gets put in here and create a student email. So if we're going to do this, I'll just show you how it works. I type in John Smith, we see, oh, good. We got smithj24@docs.rh.org. So that's going to be the kid's email address. Then the next two links I've added in here are an incomplete complete link and a reflection URL link. So the incomplete complete is something that you may have to edit based on your threshold. If we take a look up here, we see that I'm saying 50% is my cutoff. So if it's greater than 50%, I'm just giving that a complete. If it's less than 50%, I'm giving it an incomplete. So we'll kind of see how that works. So right now this is blank, but if I say the kid got a 55%, no, this would adjust to a complete. If I say, well, no, actually, in fact, they got a 45%, we see that's incomplete. And we just have to drag that down. So if I put another score here, 65%, and I just drag that down, we'll see that it kind of populates itself in there. Then for the reflection URL, this is whatever you want the student to do as a reflection. So if it's a document, if it's a Google Classroom post, whatever that is, you can put that in there. If we are choosing a document, the one thing that we want to do is make sure that the sharing settings are that everybody can view it. And then we can actually make a forced copy link for the kids. So we're going to go in here where it says edit and actually change that to copy right there. And what that's going to do is when the students click on that, that will give them a forced copy. They'll have to make a copy of that document for themselves, and then they could resubmit it. But that's going to be the second step in our process. So the last step in this process is going to require you to have an add-on called Formule. So everyone should have this one. If you don't, you go to add-ons, and then at the bottom, I have tons of them, so you have to scroll down a little bit. You go to get add-ons, and you just type in Formule, and that will allow you to basically add this to your document. So Formule is a email merge tool. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go over here and hit launch. And it's going to be pretty simple. It's going to walk you through this process of setting up basically a template for this thing. And so what we want to do is we want to select the sheet we have. And so I'll just sheet one. That's what we have right now. You can do this for multiple different sheets in a spreadsheet. So, you may want to set this up for each one of your required assignments. Just a suggestion to have. So then the next thing we have is we say we're going to do templates and conditions. So we want to have one template, and we want to do this based on what it has for the incomplete and complete rule. We don't really need to send kids a complete. If you want to send it to everybody, you can just leave this blank. But we want to send this really to the kids that get an incomplete. So we have we send the template if under the incomplete complete column we have an incomplete in there. So we're going to hit this. We're going to save those settings. And then this is going to take us to the next part of it, which is going to be how we set up the merge itself. So we hit edit templates. And it's going to be a pretty straightforward process about what you want to do and how you want to send this email. You can make it really flowery. You can make it really dry, however it works. works. But what we have here is we have our two lines, so we can drag our email tag here. We click on email because that's going to actually generate the kid's email there. Your subject can be whatever you want. So it's going to be, required assignment, something like that. Again, you can make it as boring, as flowery as you want. Um, and then you can just say, if you want to make it real basic, score, and we click the complete thing. You do want to, get rid of some of that. The tag is the part with the little brackets around it. And then we can say we want to add in our reflection URL. So we just put that right in there, and it's going to send everything all out. And that's basically how it's going to work. So if we want to, we can preview it, and we see that I still have John Smith in there. Yeah, you got an incomplete on that thing, and here's our reflection. So it basically had everything set up. Once everything's in and you're all set with it, you just hit save and send all, and that's going to blast an email that is specific to the kids into all of that, so they can see what they got and what they have to do from that point forward. If you want to, because we do have student first name, you can kind of personalize it. So for each kid, you can put in, the student first name, and that's going to give them kind of an individualized look at how it works. But that's the last step in this process. So you went from having all your scores on one spot to spitting out a bunch of emails without having to individually email every single kid. Hopefully that's going to save you a little bit of time and a little bit of a headache.